Stream elements. Neostormer is now live. Streaming science and technology. 840th stream.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. We are on day 840 of our computer streaming challenge. And I'm working on the PySite project again, but it's a certain component and I don't quite know if I'm going to be able to get this working. It is the I2S microphone, which seems to want to travel around this back quite a bit. Yeah, the SPH 0645. I've never worked with the protocol I2S before. It's supposedly for audio systems. Never really been my thing. I know I2C, but I don't know I2S. I don't really want to use this. These are like 10 bucks a piece. I don't really want to use this just as a breadboard part. I would like to actually wire it up to my Raspberry Pi camera for the PySite project. But I don't have another Raspberry Pi around that's easy to access that I'd be willing to try and wire this up to. Apparently it works with like the ATSAM devices, but I don't see much information on that either. There's also potential I could use it with the Pi Pico. I'm sort of at a loss as to how to approach this. So I'm just going to do a bunch of research, figure out how to get it working, and also find out how to stream audio over Flask. Because if I can get at least that part working, I can find a way to move audio from this sensor through a web page. So again, I'm completely new to this. I don't know what to do about it. I've been finding small articles that I can work with. Hopefully, I can figure it out. So that's a speaker. Create a USB microphone with a Raspberry Pi Pico. That kind of looks like what I'm working with. They're using the PDM microphone rather than I2S. Yeah, that's not really gonna work for me. Yeah, I've never used the PIO on the Pi Pico before. I haven't really touched the systems in general. Adafruit has the article with the Pi. Ideally, that's what I'd want to work with. Class US. US audio? No. SOS USB microphone. With an STM. Audio flask. Streams microphone audio from a cheap microphone. Forms a Fourier transform. Displays the frequency spectrum, monitors a buzz. I don't know if that's what I need to do. Let's at least look at the application just to see what it's doing. Currently struggling with my implementation of a sample live streaming application using Python and Flask. Seems I'm not able to stream my live recorded audio from the server's microphone input to the web page. So they're doing it in chunks, like as a frame buffer. Just a quick note, you shouldn't be continuously opening Pi audio stream. Set up an initialization function or call it something similar before the streaming starts. And access the stream object to read it when you need to with your record method. Or at least close it if you want to keep opening it. Byte function is not supported in Python 2.7. Well, that would be a problem. Granted, this was done like 4 or 5 years ago, so at the time, 2.7 was perfectly acceptable. Just pulling that up for good measure. URL for audio. Okay. Pi audio. Pi audio provides Python bindings for Port Audio v19, the cross-platform audio I/O library. For Pi audio, you can easily use Python to play or record audio on a variety of platforms such as GNU Linux, Microsoft Windows, and Mac OS. I guess if I pull the microphone from stream, then I can push it through a web page. That might work. Then it doesn't matter what microphone I'm using. So I should set up Flask on my computer and see if I can use that. That's as large as I can get it. Templates, static. Index.html. Get data.js. App.py. could type tonight, that would be great. This is the example I always use. Alan Davies just seems to know what he's doing. Template static index, get data.js, app.py, not main.py. Don't need anything to do with the database. Process data. No module name Flex. Pip class. And it's running. Don't need a style sheet. data not defined. Good. Doing that. Process. Process data is there. Undefined. Oh, just post the result. I really don't care about the rest. Result, okay. Fantastic. When did I do this before? Be able to reverse the direction of this, but I can't. Okay, Flask is working. Hi, audio. I imagine I need to install Pi audio. Done. Stream audio from Pi Audio to Flash with Flash to HTML5. Interestingly, I don't see Pi Audio in there. Okay, we can try that. Interestingly, it's a post command, but it's not printing anything. It's doing okay. Nothing. Sure how to deal with that. I mean, it could be that Python itself is not able to run it.
Bad soap chain. Hello.
Hey, Bad Soap. That's not working either. What if I return what I get?
Bad soap chain. IDK if you consider this rude, but I came to this category to find a smart person to answer question. I have you mind trying to answer it or no? It's about probability.
Probability. Well, I've taken a number of statistics classes, so I could at least try to help. Okay, so it is pulling the data. Then I'll leave it as that. Oh, it's friggin' pulling it now. Yeah, it actually is pulling it. Weird.
Bad soap chain. If you have a bag that has an infinite amount of blue marbles and one red marble, is it possible to pick the red marble if picked at random?
Oh, okay. My first gut reaction to that wants me to go to using limits and some derivatives and integrals. So as the limit approaches to infinity, you have one red marble of infinite. So 1 out of infinity. So that number at the bottom gets increasingly large, which means the fraction approaches 0. So I'd say no, because the limit approaches 0. Yes, 1 over x is x approaches infinity. So that fraction gets incredibly small. So I'd say you have a 0 chance.
Bad soap chain. Yay, that's my main question. Just is 1, infinity 0 or not? I just like wrapping stuff up in hypotheticals.
Yeah, mathematically, I would say it's 0. There's a 0% chance probability you're gonna get a red marble in an infinite amount of blue marbles. But then there's always those people that are, well, there's still a chance you could pick it up. It's like, yes, but it's so small it doesn't matter. It's not working anymore.
Bad soap chain. So if I have 2 bags, one with infinite blue marbles and 1 red marble, and another bag with 1 blue marble and no other marbles, the probability of getting a red marble out of each bag is exactly the same. Bad soap chain. I know it's small, that's not my question. LUL, I want to know if it's 0 or not.
Alright. Okay, video. Zoom that in. Let's take a look. Maybe a different sheet of paper. Yep, that'll work. 2 bags. One with an infinite number of blue marbles. Another with 1 blue marble, no other marbles. 1/1. Hopefully if we're getting a red marble, each bag is exactly the same. Okay. Well, this one's definitely 0. And this is essentially infinity minus 1 or infinity. I would say that instantly just becomes 1. But if you've got one bag that has no red marbles, it's 0, no matter what. If you have to get it out of both. Oh, 1 red marble in infinite blue marbles. Yeah, then it's exactly the same.
Bad soap chain.
0.
My gut reaction is 0, but my second throughly was that if pick and put back a marble out of bag 1 an infinite amount of times, I will get the red marble. But that's not the case for bag 2, so they must be different. Bad soap chain. Thought.
Infinite blue. That means that approach is 0. The other one is absolutely 0. I wouldn't say it's exactly the same. I'd say 1 is 0 and 1 is approaching 0. So it's like the limit as x approaches 0 and 0, but they are not the same. But my second thought was if I pick and put back a marble. Yeah, they're different. The end result is they're practically 0 and they're practically the same, but they're not the same. Because one has a infinitesimally small chance of getting the marble color you want. The other one has 0 probability because it doesn't exist.
Bad soap chain. Is approaching 0 a concept of value or a concept of value change? I've never taken any advanced math classes, so I DK exactly what approaching 0 means.
So this is like calculus 1. So if you have a limit, which is usually lim. Sorry, I can't write this upside down. I suppose I could flip the camera. and you say, I want x to approach 0. And you have a function of 1 over x. So you say, okay, as you're approaching x, you usually approach from a direction. You're either approaching from a positive number or a negative number, but eventually you'll hit 0. So if I say I'm going to start with a very high number of like 1,000, I approach 0. That means I have 1 over 1,000. Then I'm doing 1 over 100. 1 over 10. This number, as it goes through, means that the closer I get to 0, so 0.00001, the higher this number becomes. And so as x approaches 0, a 1 over x, that would equal infinity. Now, if my formula was just x and it approaches 0, it would eventually equal 0. So, I don't know if you've taken trigonometry, but there's something called an asymptote. I think it's 1 over tan x. And there's like a dotted line. This is approaching x equals 0 from the right. There's not enough space in the camera. And this is x approaching from the left. So you'll never
Bad
reach
soap
0.
chain. Yes, but approaching 0 intuitively doesn't seem like a value, it seems like a concept of something moving towards 0.
Well, you're approaching a value, but the formula dictates what the number is. Same with, you can do x approaches infinity. So if you're just talking about x or 2x or 4x, eventually these all end up, if approaching infinity, to infinity. But if I did it 1 over x, or 1 over 2x, or 2 over x, eventually these all result in 0.
Bad soap chain. Alright, it makes a little more sense. I appreciate you helping me with this or taking your own time to explain it to me.
Oh, you're welcome. I haven't touched probability statistics or calculus in, I don't know, maybe 5 years, maybe longer. I haven't been in college since 2014. Jesus, that's almost 10 years now. But I'm an engineer and I like probability and statistics, so it's something I like to dabble with. And it is something that I spent 4 years learning. Calculus is a huge part of engineering, but I barely get a chance to use it. The calculus made more sense to me when I looked at it as a programming question. So it turns out I was doing a lot of calculus without realizing it. And once somebody pointed out, it's kind of like doing a for
Bad
loop or
soap
a while
chain.
loop.
Well damn, then I got lucky picking a streamer to ask, then you were my first pick LUL.
Well, I'm glad to be a help, and thank you for the follow. I do appreciate that. Oh, I like that. That's cool. Okay, so whenever I edit, if I save, come on, you can do it. Oh, it's gonna make a monkey out of me now. Come on. You were doing it earlier. I saved it. And it restarted, and now it's not doing it. Alright, fine. Bastard, it just did it. It just restarted. Alright, maybe I'm not waiting long enough. But it is picking up the data now, so I'm happy with that. Alright, so I need to get the microphone stuff working. This seems somewhat like what I want. So that's the first part. Audio, generate audio. So I guess copy all this. /audio. It tried to run.
Bad soap chain. Yay, I like math too and tend to understand it better than most people, but things like programming I have tried and never likes it. That's the main reason I'm not in college, because can't seem to find anything that I'm good at and also enjoy the work of. And I on wanna get loans then drop out BC. There was nothing I wanted to do.
College isn't for everyone. To be honest, I didn't really get as much out of college as I thought I would. And in the end, what I do for work is the same as what I did when I was in high school. But I would not have got the position I got if I hadn't gone to college, because my boss was very insistent that he have somebody with a college degree. But what he doesn't understand is everything that I did while I was in high school. Because for a mechanical engineer, they do not teach you how to program. They make you take a class called MATLAB, and it's a very basic stripped down thing. They may teach Python now instead of that, which is what I'm using now. Programming has gotten incredibly simple with Python being a thing. We'll dispatch requests. Starting. So it is trying to run.
Bad soap chain. And IDK if it's just me, but I am very interested in a variety of subjects, but when I get into something seriously I get over it and get into something else pretty consistently.
Yeah, it can be a hindrance to have a drive but not a focus. I tend to do that with projects. I get a certain amount done and then I just stop and I move on to the next project. So I have a problem finishing projects, but that's why I work in research and development, because I get to start a bunch of projects and then hand that off to someone else.
Bad soap chain. Like I can't stay dedicated to one subject.
Direction. No. Response is not defined. Okay. Oh, I don't have response imported. Don't know what that does. It's probably gonna scream at me. Okay, well, it generated something. What's the error? Invalid number of channels. Debugging middleware caught exception. Strange response at a point where response headers were already sent. don't know what that means. Line 441 of the Pi Audio initialization package. Line 95 of app.py, generate audio, stream key formats. Okay, line 95. Why is there no show line numbers? There we go. Line 95. Could just
Bad
be
soap
this.
chain. So going to college with the intent on studying one subject for 4 years doesn't seem like something I would be able to do. But at the same time I would much rather work in a STEM-type job than what I am doing now. Which is just different labor jobs.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, you could pick something that's multidisciplinary. So, for example, I'm an engineer, but I'm a roboticist. So, I like mechanical, electrical, and computer, and I'm able to do all three. And if I get bored of one, I move on to the other. So, I'm never really bored. I never really lose focus because I have something else I can work on. So maybe finding something that's a little bit more multidisciplinary might help. I can't do that line. Response, line 50. Line 95 is still there. Someone had a simplified one. They have this, audio 1, the chunks.
Bad soap chain. Yay, but the variety of things I am interested in are very different and I like them all pretty equally, so IDK how to choose. I like things like math, philosophy, nutrition and training, computer hardware and software. Just my brain is too indecisive and all over the place.
When I hear math, philosophy, nutrition, training, computer hardware, and software, I think a health and fitness application that deals with some sort of tracking device. So maybe you don't want to do a college degree, but maybe you want to start something. Programming is incredibly easy to get into without a degree. And it's a lot easier to start a hardware company now than it has ever been because of access to things like 3D printers and on-demand manufacturing services. Whoa, what is that? That's some garbage code right there.
Bad soap chain. Yay, I did a programming class in high school. I hated it. I like the part when we would take pre-written code and arranging it to solve complex puzzles. But I hated learning and writing it.
What language was it? Because there are some languages out there that are pretty horrible.
Bad soap chain. I have no clue.
Okay. I think of good ways to identify a language.
Bad soap chain. Actually, I think it was JavaScript.
Oh, JavaScript. Okay. I know a lot of people when I was in high school that would tell me that JavaScript was not a language because it is a little difficult to work with and nobody would take it seriously. These days, JavaScript is now one of the most popular languages around because of how flexible it is and how easy it is to interact with web pages. That doesn't mean that it's a good language. I still kind of hate it, but I'm forced to use it based on what I develop. Python, I think, is probably one of the nicest languages I've ever used. So let's say test.py. So if I do print, hello, single line of code, and I save it, and I run that module, it prints it. Let's say I want to do math. I want to know what 2 plus 4 is. I print the result. And I run that. It tells me 6. for a range of numbers from 1 to 100. Print for
bad soap chain. Even just looking at code makes me sick thinking back to sitting in class being forced to write pages of it. LUL.
So for x in range of 0 to 1 to 100, print x. Prints 1 to 99. So to loop back, if we were to say we're going to go from 1 to, I don't know, a billion, 100 billion, and we have that problem of 1 over x, we'd run that. You'll notice that this number gets incredibly small as it runs. So this is x. This is the value approaching 0.
Bleeding rain.
As x goes
Usually
to
it's easier to learn code if you have a project you're working on.
Exactly. For me, I didn't start getting into really using Python until I had a project. So I found something called
Bad
Circuit
soap
Python.
chain. Where are you from? You got a tri-state area way of saying small.
Tri-state area. I'm British originally. And then I moved to the States when I was about 10.
Bleeding rain. Lol.
So I didn't get into Python until I learned something called Circuit Python, which uses these tiny, well, not tiny, they can be large. It's a way of running Python on a microcontroller. Because I got sick of having to compile.
Bad soap chain. British ain't no way.
I hated working with Arduinos and having to wait for shit to compile, so I figured.
Bad soap chain. You got zero British accent.
Like I said, I've been in the States since I was 10, so I've lost a lot of it, but it comes back when I go back home. What I like about these is you can write it with text, with Notepad on Windows, plug it right in, you update it over USB, and it just instantly runs. There's no waiting for it to compile.
Bad soap chain. You got a mix of New York and Southern accents somehow, and British is the last thing I would have guessed.
I've been told New York before.
Bleeding rain. His accent is very faded, but I promise you it does exist.
Because I spent 15 years in New Mexico, and I spent the last 5 in Cleveland, Ohio. So that might be what you're picking up. I'm going to end this. So yeah, 1 over x, as x approaches infinity, means the value approaches 0. Alright, with that, I'm going to go ahead and end tonight. I'll pick up trying to figure out how to use this microphone code later. Is there anyone we can raid for tonight? You know what? We could go visit Mathematics. They're doing some AI stuff, a little bit of programming.
Bad soap chain. Yeah, your enunciation sounds New Yorkerish, but your tone sounds Southern.
Alright, well, thank you all for tuning in.
Bleeding rain. Say Derbyshire.
Derbyshire? We'll go raid Mathematic. Bad Silk Chain, thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate that. Thank you for the follow. I really enjoyed our discussion tonight. I hope you come back later. I stream every day. So with that, day 840 of my continuous streaming challenge.
Bad soap chain.
And I hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye.